All right, we're back live. We are having some internet issues there during JV. Hopefully we got the technical difficulties worked out over there during the break. You never know, the internet in the school systems going up and down, in and out. So we got it now. Let's stand for our playing of our national anthem.
Good evening and welcome on behalf of Principal Chad Hickson to the beautiful campus of Snider High School in Kilmer Court for tonight's varsity matchup between the New Haven and our very own Snider Panthers. Please stand for the playing of our national anthem. Officiating tonight's varsity matches will be Tony Drysdale. Tonight's format will be a 2-2-2.
Yep, all right, we're starting this lineup tonight, so we're going to start lineups introductions at 132. So as we go through this.
Now for the starting lineup.
For Snider Panthers at 132 pounds, it's going to be Cameron Lapsley. Oh, they're starting at 106, with their setup. So at 106 pounds, we're going to go Julianne Ocampo from New Haven. She will be wrestling Tyler Tunn from Snider. At 113 pounds, our matchup will feature Easton Doster from New Haven. And it will have Dijon, who we call Red, Clandy. At 120 pounds, for New Haven will be Carrington Cooper, and for Snider will be Lincoln Alfonso. At 126 pounds, for New Haven will be Braden Klauser, and for Snider will be Zane Maple. At 132 pounds, that's where we will begin our matches tonight. For New Haven will be John Buzzard. For Snider will be Cameron Lapsley. At 138 pounds, for New Haven will be Aiden Elkins, and for Snider will be Connor Prohaska. At 145 pounds, for New Haven will be Elijah Miller, and for Snider will be Devin Mitchell. At 152 pounds, wrestling for the Bulldogs of New Haven will be Aiden Carter. Wrestling for Snider will be Roderick Williams. At 160 pounds, for New Haven will be Vince LaPera, and for Snider will be Ethan Smith. At 170 pounds will be Kamari Kirk for New Haven, and Troy Garot for Snider. At 182 pounds for New Haven will be Mason Head, and for Snider will be Al Capone Veazey. At 195 pounds for New Haven will be Connor Mason, and for Snider will be Christian Hernandez. At 220 pounds for New Haven will be Matt Pori, and for Snider will be Ethan Leal. At 285 pounds. Our heavyweights tonight for New Haven will be Dazan Ware, and for Snider will be Ethan Dodson. That is our starting lineup for tonight's match. As I said, we will be starting at 132 pounds with our matches this evening.
At 113 pounds from New Haven, Easton Doster. And from Snider, Desmond Clardy. At 120 pounds from New Haven, Carrington Cooper. And from Snider, Lincoln Alphon.
We're in the process still of them doing our match lineups. They will do this face-off here. We've already done the national anthem. When they're done with this, we will get the action started.
Coaches for the New Haven Bulldogs. Head coaches James Lynn, assistant coaches Harley Brown, John Buzzard, Chad Marks, and Russ Tucker. Managers are Kendall Zimmerman, Ezra Yoderlike, and
All right, once again, great to be back with you live for some Snider Panther wrestling action here off Kilmer Court. My cohort in crime here is Coach Congdon, longtime Panther, longtime coach, wrestled here at Snider along with me and a lot of the Panther privilege we saw. I ran into Sammy Walker.
There's a whole bunch of guys out there. Jason Woodson sitting over there in the stands. We see, like you said, Sammy Walker. Sammy Walker was Division III All-American, wrestled for Snider back in the early 80s. And Jason Woodson was the state champ here at Snider, so we got a lot of people in the house. Those are just a few of them to name. There's plenty more that are going to be coming around as the year progresses.
Yeah, recent graduate. I saw Mackay up there, Spencer.
Yep.
So just like I said, getting back the family group of the Panthers. Good to see alumni come back and support the team. Here we go. Let's get some live wrestling action.
All right, our action, as we said, we'll start with Buzzard and Lapsley. They start on their feet. New Haven wearing half blue, half a whitish gray uniform. Snider with their traditional black and gold. It's a gold top with a fade into a black bottom. Lapsley has a head and a heel. He's going to try to circle around, see if he can control the takedown. He's working his way around. He's gotten to the waist. Buzzard tried to throw a little headlock. Slid through. They're back to their feet. They're both neutral. Lapsley reaches in. He has snagged a single. Buzzard doing a pretty good job making sure that he's keeping head down. His hips against the mat. That sprawl hip pressure. Not only has he had hips down, he's been able to take Lapsley and secure his leg. He's trying to circle around. Lapsley trying to wizard. Buzzard has gone ahead and released that. I would say that if Lapsley's knees go to the ground, that will be 2 if he doesn't have before that. 2 for New Haven. He has the cradle hooked up. He has Lapsley. He's been able to get Lapsley to his back. He's earning points right here. Don't know if he has that secure enough to establish a fall or not. He's going to have to get Lapsley's shoulders settled if he's planning on doing that. Cameron Lapsley, the son of Anthony Lapsley, who wrestled here at Snider High School and was the state champion for Coach Mike Esther. Buzzard, he's got a tight waist and an arm.
Scores 5-0, New Haven.
Yes, thank you, Coach. We're coming to the end of the first period. So period will end with the score 5-0. Choice to New Haven. New Haven defers.
So we'll be doing the next 2 more home meets coming up in the year. We'll talk about that in a minute here.
They start neutral. Buzzard on a shot. Lapsley defends it. They are ear to ear in a tie up. Buzzard drops into a single. He's got his head on the outside, trying to turn it into a little bit of a high crotch situation. Lapsley being able to push the head down, sprawl back, create some space. They remain neutral. Lapsley slides behind for a quick 2. Breaks the score down to 5-2 with 1:15 left in the second period. Buzzard trying to establish a base. Lapsley has an ankle picked up. Trying to figure out exactly what Cameron plans to do with that. I think he maybe was trying to stop the initial move. Buzzard tried to roll. Lapsley caught him. Slid over, got the legs in. He's got Buzzard in a bad position right now.
42 seconds left.
He's got plenty of
time.
Be nice to see him slide both those legs in. If he could get that other leg in, if he can get him to settle, I believe that he would establish the pin. He's going to have to lift hard on this with short time left. We got 30 seconds, and Buzzard was able to turn down on that. So it turned into a side headlock, at which point Buzzard was able to bridge right out.
Evens match up 5-5 at that point. We're evened up 5-5. 18 seconds left in the second period. Great effort by both wrestlers there.
Lapsley has an arm. He's trying to get across the back. With 5 seconds left, I think he'll just secure good position. Or is he going to steal some points? He might have got some points here. He did. He got him to his back. He's going to get some points there, Coach. He got 2 more points with that last 3 seconds. That was a great move there by Cameron to stay busy there. And now leads 7-5 at the end of 2 periods.
Both wrestlers, again, giving it great action, working at it. And again,
Snider was given choice.
No,
excuse me. Yes, they are.
Lapsley working to the buzzer was what you need to do to steal those points at the end.
Well, we tell our kids that they need to make sure they're wrestling, whether you are down or you are up, all the way to the buzzer till the official stops you, and that's a good example right there. On the whistle, Lapsley stands and turns in. Did not get his hips cleared and was brought back to the mat. Lapsley, short sit. Buzzard reaches over the top, tries to step out front. Lapsley has been able to grab a leg. He could secure a reversal here. He does. He just took him, dropped the leg, tucked the leg under, circled behind. Now up 9-5. Looks like Lapsley's starting to take control of this match here in the third period. He's hooked up a near side cradle. He has Buzzard over onto his back. He's settled him down and looks like he's going to establish the fall. He does.
It's a pin.
45 seconds into the third period, so that fall will come at 4 minutes and 45 seconds. And the opening match goes to the Snider Panthers. They get 6 points for the fall and now lead the team match 6-0. Our next match is going to have 138. We'll have Connor Prohaska is going to be wrestling Aiden Elkins. They start neutral. They both go to an ear-to-ear tie. You're fine. You're fine. Connor has front headlock. He needs to do something with that. Get him extended here. Like to see him snap him down, drag him out a little bit, or try to spin behind, shuck him by. He needs to try to get options to give him a takedown. Instead, they back out of bounds, and they are neutral. Back to the ear-to-ear tie. Doesn't look like they want to go so much ear-to-ear, and that's a good thing. That's hard for wrestlers to score off of that. Elkins drops down. Prohaska got the front headlock again, trying to drive into him. Looks like he's trying to maybe work that to a near side. Elkins tried to work a dump, didn't finish it. That's an example of if you're going to spin behind your opponent, you got to make sure you keep his head down and your legs back. In that attempt, Elkins was able to grab a leg, which Then Connor fell to his side and gave up 2 points. 30 seconds left.
2-0 New Haven leading the match.
Elkins is a leg rider. He has legs in. He has established a power half. He has slid up on the top, and he's got Prochaska into a predicament. He has broke 45-degree angle, which you have to do as top wrestler to earn points.
5 seconds left, folks.
So at this point, this is what we're talking about. You cannot give a pin up at this point.
And he holds it off.
3 points awarded. New Haven at the end of one is up 5-0.
Leading the match, 5-0. From New Haven, Aiden Elkins.
Wrestlers are going to start neutral to start the second period. Elkins doesn't want that tie-up. You can see that he does not want to get into ear-to-ear. I think he feels like he's got better attack by being away. He's got collar control. Connor reaching. Both wrestlers trying to establish inside position. Once they do that, that will open up some of their attacks. Connor with a shot. He's in on the leg. He's got the head on the outside. Aiden able to roll back, slide up. Establish the takedown. He's putting those legs back in. Score 7-0 with 1:10 left into the second period. Aiden has Connor broke down. New Haven has both legs in. It looks like coaches are asking him to try the power half. That was where he had success before. If it worked the first time, I'm sure they believe that it might work the second. Connor's worked his way back to his base, but is broken back down. Once he gets back to that base, he's going to have to get those legs out, whether he tries to reach back, catch one. Instead, power half is secured by Elkins. Once again, Prohaska was able to work off of his back, but not before he gave up a 3 count, therefore giving up 2 more points. The score is now 9-0 with 15 seconds left in the second period. We're going to end the second period in the same position we were before with a 9-0 score. Well, we're going to have to see. I'm not sure that Connor on the bottom is going to be the best thing for him. But being down like he is, needs a load of points, so that's a good way to start. On the whistle, Elkins popping the arms forward. He's trying to get those legs back in. What he'll do is he'll get wrist control. He's trying to slide his left leg in. Snider, bottom wrestler, has been warned for stalling. Stalling is called when the bottom wrestler is not attempting to either on the bottom get out or on the top pin his opponent. Connor was not working to escape, therefore he was hit for a stall. Power half was put back in by Elkins. This allows him to turn, and he has one leg in. If he gets that other one, he's got both legs in. This is going to be the end of the match. It was. We established a fall at 4 minutes and 41 seconds. Pinned by New Haven's Aiden Elkins at 138 points. At 145 pounds, our next match is going to feature Elijah Miller from New Haven and Devin Mitchell from Snider. Both wrestlers have checked in at the table. As we said, Tony Drysdale, our official, make sure everything is good. They've shook hands. They're on their feet. Ear-to-ear tie-up. They've gone back. Nobody wants to tie up. Like to see that. They're wrestling apart. Both wrestlers trying to establish a little movement, set up their opponent. Mitchell looks like he's trying to get a little bit of movement out of his opponent so he can set up his attack. They've gotten into ear-to-ear, but Mitchell goes past it, shoots a double leg for a lift single or lift double, takes him down. Just a nice flat attack double. Tries to reach up and reaches from way too far back for a half, at which point the New Haven Miller kicks over for a reversal. Yeah, if you're going to reach up for a half, you better make sure that you're getting up there to run now. You can't take that from the hips. Devon, short sits, turns in. Miller on his hip. Mitchell looks like he's trying to lock up an arm. I don't know if he was trying to work a Peterson there. Turn back into it. He's got his inside leg hooked. He's not going to be able to hit that Peterson until he clears that. That would be Snider. He sits out. He's got the leg he turned back in.
Switches off the double. Here he goes.
There you go.
Nice.
We have a reversal. So now Snider's back up 4-2 with 40 seconds left in the first period. Again, Mitchell kicked back over and gives up the reversal and is caught on his back. 30 seconds left. Miller trying to get up. Elijah's trying to get up there and run just a half, but wasn't able to get it, so he comes back. Looks like he's trying to run a 3/4 Nelson. He's got the leg hooked. He jumped the cradle. Nice jump cradle. Jumped all the way across. Mitchell trying to stand with his head down. We have 5 seconds left. They were back that predicament area. Looks like he has that inside shoulder up. He's got to fight to get out of that. He will give up 3 more points there, so we will end the first period with the score. New Haven 10, Snider 4. New Haven chooses down. New Haven set, Snider covers. Mitchell breaks him down, but it looks like they're calling potentially dangerous. They will start the wrestlers back over again. Called that off of looked like a half Nelson, but it looked like he had the wing on the other side, so they probably didn't like that. Mitchell tries to chop down. Mitchell needs to make sure that he keeps his legs enough apart that he can maintain a base, because he's just basically getting knocked down with an arm. He got Peterson. Miller has reached back, ran a Peterson. He released that. He earned 2 points off of that.
14-4 is your score. Going in, New Haven with the lead.
He's got a crossface and an ankle. Looks like he's trying to jump that cradle again. Instead, Mitchell reaches back and he just hips forward. If Mitchell stays right there, he's going to do exactly that. He's going to hip him over and just stuff that head under and run that right there. It's got the power half. Mitchell needs to look away and turn down. If he looks into that, that would be a bad situation. All right, and a little bit of a scramble there. Snider able to get the reversal with 36 left in the second period. The score now is 14-6. Mitchell on the top, tight waist. He's got a far half that's going to get him rolled if he's not careful. He needs to keep his head up, drop his hips down, keep his hips low, stuff that head. Right there, he's hanging on. Inside arm slipped out by Miller, head slipped out by Miller. He established the reversal, 16-6. And immediately going after attacking for a half. Mitchell has stepped over the legs, so Miller has inside legs.
16-6 your score at the end of 2. It's New Haven with the lead.
Well, I think Snyder's done the right thing here. They were not able to score on the top, and they were not able to score on the bottom. So, thought he was going neutral, but it looks like they've put him back down.
I thought he said neutral also. Yep.
I imagine he wanted neutrals, and the coaches wanted down. From that position, he's trying to step over the half that Miller has. He's got a far side half, which is a predicament. Mitchell had stepped over it. He's more out front now, kind of in a single leg position, and Miller is just kind to working a little bit of funk and able to get him to his back and establish a fall.
Well, he just wiggled his hips down in there and got enough pressure, I guess, and Mitchell couldn't keep that shoulder up, but it was
No,
a
he
funky
didn't.
little hip movement, just kind of kept wiggling that arm out.
Exactly.
Got in there. Yep.
So that big points for New Haven. That established another fall there. New Haven team 12, Snider team 6. Our next match is going to take us at 152 pounds, where for Snider High School had Roderick Williams, and for New Haven High School we will have Aiden Carter. Williams, low single right off the whistle, but he really was just fake shot, excuse me. Followed by a real shot by Carter. He grabs the low ankle, picks it up, trips, and they went out of bounds. Had he been able to keep him in, he might have been able to work that to a takedown, but they remain neutral. Williams in with a shot, try to get a little bit of a single. Carter able to get back up to his feet. Carter looked like he's trying an inside trip. There was no action, so the official, Tony Drysdale, called a stalemate, brought the guys back to the middle. Carter shot a low single. Williams sidestepped it. Front headlock. He's got the front headlock in the legs, got the near side cradle hooked up. Now, because he has the cradle hooked up, he did establish that is 2. Sometimes they'll give him that, sometimes they won't. He does believe that he has control there. So Williams has given up 2 and is now in the process of trying to do something with the near side cradle. He lost that. Both wrestlers are able to work themselves neutral. Roderick with an over and under. Now he's got double underhooks. Carter tries to swing an inside trip.
2-1 Panthers leading in this match. 28 seconds left. A lot of dancing going on, not a lot of action.
No. Both of them trying to establish inside position. Carter's got high on a front headlock.
11 seconds. Ends period 1 with 2-1 with Roderick in the lead.
Wrestlers are going to start second period in neutral position. Carter on a nice shot single, picks it up. Williams has the wizard in and the head down. He does not want to give up that wizard till he can get that leg back. If he can get that leg to the mat, there you go. I think he can break that whole single and maybe establish something of his own. He does. He's got an over and under. He could not tight enough on that cow catcher and standing up on their feet. I think that would have been a dangerous attempt. Roderick Williams trying to push the head away. Carter has his leg trying to turn back in. They're on the mat. Carter reaches back. He's got the leg and the head, and he's trying to go after a little something funky. Williams isn't sure that he wants to give that up. He does. Carter is able to put that into a side headlock. He's got Williams on his back. Not only is he going to get 2 for the takedown, but he's earned back points and is working to try to see if he can establish a fall.
52 seconds left in the period.
They're on the edge, and the pin is established at the edge with 43 seconds left. Fall happened at 3 minutes and 17 seconds.
And that's where New Haven takes the lead of team points 18-6 after that match.
Next match at 160 pounds will feature for Snider, Ethan Smith. And for New Haven, it's going to be Vincent LaPera. Ethan Smith, the sophomore. Vincent LaPera is freshman. They're on their feet. Smith shoots in a double. LaPera sprawls. Smith in a front headlock from LaPera. I would say it looks like both wrestlers are going to get out of that because there's not much to establish. They're on the edge of the mat. Smith inbounds, LaPera out. Drysdale felt that there was not enough action there, called them out of bounds. Bring them back to the middle with 1:30 left. Both wrestlers neutral. Smith with an underhook. He's got an underhook and an overhook. Snapping the head down. Gathers the leg, but they go out of bounds. We got 1:14 left in the first period. We're a 0-0 match. Nice duck under by Smith for a takedown. When you get the wrestler pushing onto you, a lot of times that will give you that. All you got to do is push the elbow up. Momentum will come at you, change levels, and turn the corner, and you have an easy two. Suck back by Smith. Short sit by LaPera. Smith sucks it back. Slides up over the head. I think he might have established some back points. He did. Had him in predicament long enough to get 3. He now has opened up a 5-0 lead with 30 seconds left in the first period. Smith has him back onto his back. Got a leg and a head, but it looks like Perra will be able to turn out, but not before Smith is able to earn additional points. Maybe. I'm not sure why he held that. There were no points there. All right, I missed something there. I thought he had him on his back close enough to get those. So we are going to enter the second period 5-0 with both wrestlers neutral. They're in a tie-up. LaPera tries to duck under. He's trying to just kind of crawl into a single leg, but he's not getting through Smith's front line of attack, his arms. Smith is able to block off. Had the head hook, came underneath, knows he's out of bounds, can't finish that, tried to hold position. Ethan Smith has taken injury time for some reason. Looks like he's got an issue with his knee maybe. So a wrestler can't have injury time. The first injury time, the injury will be 2 minutes. The first injury time, they will go right back to where they initially were at. In this case, it would be Smith on top, LaPera down. If there is another injury time for Smith, then LaPera would have a choice where he would want to start when they return back to the mat. 30 seconds of injury time used.
Snider 6. We're coming back into action. First score. Snider leads 5-0 in this match.
Okay, they're back into action. Start in neutral. Okay, so there was no back points because Drysdale must not have felt that there was a established control on the over-under before, so he didn't give 2 or the back points. Ethan did it the easy way, shot in low single, circled around, and got 2 for his takedown. 7-0, trying to get legs in. He's got legs in. LaPera's trying to get up. As long as LaPera comes up, there's a chance that this could get called, potentially dangerous. LaPera tries to turn back in. Smith catches him. Has brought him back into predicament, but he has been able to break the 45 degree. He's got one leg in. He's trying to just take a near side half and try to go ahead and establish a predicament, but he was not able to do that, so no points are awarded for having him in the pinning predicament.
7-0 your score. Panthers leading in the match. 28 seconds left to go.
Looks like Smith is going to try to just come out and run a spiral, tough spiral into a half. LaPera sat down on his hip. And it looks like at this point with 10 seconds left, we are going to go into the third period with the score remaining Snider 7, New Haven nothing.
Again, talking about the scoreboard and stuff. Said we're at WRNS Productions. We bought a scoreboard package. We got everything that goes. We can run it, but none of my students ever wrestle, so they don't know scoring. So I'm looking for some volunteers for the upcoming matches to help us. It's
to
hard
score some of these matches.
It's hard to use a scoreboard when you don't know the point system. So I'm working that and trying to teach them both sides of the technology. It's kind of interesting. So we'll get there, guys. We will get there. It's just kind
Coach Cotard, you do a great job with your kids. I have no doubt that you will have them up and running. Ethan Smith started down. He stood up. He turned right back in and face-lifted Pachera right to his back for the pin. So what he did was he stood up, he turned back in, LaPera sat right there, he face-lifted him right to his back and pinned him in 12 seconds of that second period. That was a big fall for Snider High School. That puts them back into the match here at 18-12 for the team score. Next matchup will be for Snider at 170 pounds, Troy Garot. And for New Haven at 170 pounds will be Kamari Kirk.
Kamari Kirk comes in 11-0.
Kamari Kirk is the real deal.
So, yeah, here we go. Yeah, that pin last one might have been a good one for us because we needed those 6 points on the board.
Yes. The one thing I can tell you about Troy will give you a lot of heart. What he does know in knowledge, he will give you in heart. Kirk takes him down, lets him up. Troy right back after getting on the head. Kirk in with a dump, just a fireman's dump. This is Troy's second year of wrestling. So he's a fill-in. As I said earlier, we've got some kids out of the lineup, and he's one of them. So Kirk turns him with a half and pins him. That pin came in 42 seconds of the first period. So we're going to move from the 170 to the 182-pound match where Snider will have Al Capone Veazey, a very highly rated freshman coming into Snider High School. He will be facing Mason Head.
Yeah, Al Capone also in the high school season, undefeated coming into the matchup. Today.
Yes, he is. Al Capone, known around here as Pone, is highly known on the international scene. He just came back from Mexico City where he was a gold medalist in both Greco and freestyle in the 15 under age group. Pone will work with Head here. He took him down, just kind of forced him to the mat. He passed him by. He got 2 back points, and then he let him up.
And here again,
scores 4-2.
This word's critical to the coaching. We need the pin here. The Panthers need the pin on this one. You can't get yourself into that tech fall situation. You got to go for it and get it. There's a scenario where
Pone, and this is no disrespect to the young man from New Haven, but when Pone's ready, he will finish this match. He's going to let the young man wrestle. He's going to get a little work in. He is working his moves off of what the young man does.
And that's what I said. Sometimes kids get lost in them, and it's just coaches need to be aware of timing. Then, get the job done when it's time to get it done, because the 6 points might be critical at the end.
It has.
Just
like right here. He stepped into a double leg because the young man wasn't too sure how to defend. Slowly brought him back down to the mat. Got some back points. At this point, I think he's going to take him down and pin him. He did, and the pin happened with 114 of the first period. Al Capone will be somebody that will be on our radar and everybody else's radar for the next 4 years. At 195 pounds, Next match, we have Christian Hernandez for Snider and Connor Mason for New Haven.
He gets walk-up music. Coach Zimbo getting some walk-up music going for him today.
That's right. A little bit of excitement. Thought it was in a baseball game. Wrestlers start neutral, ear-to-ear tie-up. Both wrestlers have kind of circled the mat in their tie-up. At this point here, we've made about a 360 around the edge of the mat. They step out of bounds. Drysdale takes them back to the middle, restarts them. They tie back up. Hernandez trying to work inside position. Took a 2-on-1 off, got a little sloppy on his shot, got extended, got back to his feet. Mason has one arm covered and one arm on top. Hernandez tries to step under, does not clear his head. Mason, side hip, tosses him to the mat. He has established 2 with the takedown. Now he's working to see if he can get back points. He has. He's established his 3 points. There's 48 seconds left in the first period. Christian needs to go ahead and belly down, push the hip away, which he does, which will go ahead and get the guys back, and they're back on their feet. As they're wrestling, they got to go. You guys got to be behind your bench. Gentlemen, you got to be behind your bench. Please don't ask me to have someone come over and remove you. As they continue to wrestle. He's up on top. We're going to end the first period with the score 5-0. Choice is going to go to Snider. Snider is going to defer. Snider defers. Mason is going to have choice. He's going to choose down. He looked over at his coaches. Coach Lynn said that he would like to have his wrestler on the bottom. He sets. Snider covers. Hernandez tries to break him down. Looks like Peterson getting set up. Mason trying to control the near arm, turns back in. He will go ahead, not get that. He's maintaining his base. Hernandez has an ankle and a near arm. He's going to want to work up from that. Mason turns back in, clears out. Nice job of stepping back, getting his one. Increases his lead to 6-0. They're on their feet. Both wrestlers trying to establish inside tie. And the wrestlers go out of bounds. 58 seconds left in the second period. Score, New Haven 6, Snider nothing. Team score, New Haven 24, Snider 18. Both wrestlers looking for position. Mason pushing. Hernandez backing up. He needs to make sure that he circles on that. Both wrestlers look like they're trying to establish some kind of inside position. Mason steps in with a side headlock. That was a beautiful throw there. Took him right to his back and pinned him. That, ladies and gentlemen, was a big time move right there. Well done by Mason over at New Haven. That pin will take it to 30-18 for the team score. That will also move us to our next match, which is the 220-pound match at New Haven. They will send out a freshman, Ethan Leal. He will be wrestling against Snider will be sending out a freshman, Ethan Leal. This is one of their fill-ins. He will be stepping out against Matt Pori, who is a sophomore from New Haven. Pori tried to drop. Leal tried to step over it. Pori was able to hip him off and end up on top. He's got a head and a body press position. There's a lot of scrambling going on. A lot of time left. Leal's going to have to, and he does not. Was going to have to turn down pretty quick. He's unable to do that. That will then end the match. 32 seconds in the first period. Pinned by Matt Pori of New Haven. This is going to take us to the heavyweight match where Snider will send out Ethan Dobson. He will be countered by New Haven's Denzel Ware.
It looks like this match, like I said, they're starting to get away from the Panthers. You're going to have to pick one up here. You're going to need some points on the board. I'm not sure how many got left, but going to need them all, it looks like.
Hey, that is probably the truth on that. We have 5 matches left, including this. Time is running out for the Panthers. Goes back, like we said, it's a big difference in these tight matches of pinning and not getting pinned.
Yes, exactly. I mean, you're just a huge swing. If you can keep fighting off that back and you give up the 3 instead of 6, even if it's critical, and these younger wrestlers have to learn that and understand, hey, you can help our team just as, if you ain't get the win, get off your back and just get beaten, don't get pinned, can help your team just as much sometimes.
We have a side headlock. What we had here with both wrestlers were in a bear hug position, which kind of is a 50-50 proposition. And Ware was able to kind of get the upper hand on Dobson, but Dobson was able to slide his hips out so that he was not able to be taken down as they went out of bounds. So they're back on their feet. Neutral, 0-0 match with 1:15 left. First period.
Again, this is WRNS Productions bringing you live action from Snider High School in the wrestling. We'll be bringing you much more action throughout the next few weeks after the Christmas break. We're hitting up the live Homestead wrestling matchup here at Snider High School on January 6th, I believe that is. I have to look at my calendar for sure, but I'll get that note. I'm just talking to the athletic director to send me that information. And then January 7th, we've got the boys and girls doubleheader basketball game between a rival Northrop here at Snider. That'll be a big game. So we got a lot of things we'll talk more about. And here at the heavyweight matchup, we're standing up doing a little dancing, seeing, feeling each other
Dotson
out.
Trying to, once again, they try to hit that duck under, but they don't change their levels. And when they're not changing their levels, then what's happening is the New Haven kids are just going ahead and they're just setting themselves up for a side headlock. They're actually loading their own hips, leaving the head and arm out there, and it lets the progression of getting thrown go that much faster and that much easier.
And you got to get the right motions going forward on that duck under. And
that duck under, you got to clear that arm off, and you got to change levels. You can't just walk through it.
Yep.
So Dodson's trying to go to a bear hug. He's got an underneath, and Ware obviously feels comfortable going with an over and under on that also as they're setting into that. And that will cause a lot of issues for both wrestlers at this because they're both tall. If one were taller than the other, it might have an advantage, but these guys can kind of neutralize each other's leverage.
Leading this match from Snider, Ethan Dobson.
So we start the second period on our feet, score 1-0. Ethan has that duck under position, but he's just not quite sure, I think, where to get his body position to make that work for him. He's going to have to make sure that he's changing that levels and turning the corner. It's there. I think he's got the right idea and wanting that, but he's got to make sure that he's executing it better than he is right now. And Ware is a little bit shorter, so it's much more difficult for a taller kid to duck. Yes.
Yes, to get that moving.
Yes. Right here, see, he needs to pass him by faster and step and elevate that, lift that. So instead of him just trying to get behind him, he needed to get up there, step, elevate, and push. Now, what he was able to do was to push that arm off his head and keep circling around, and he did establish the takedown on that.
The hard way around it.
The hard way around
get that arm up over the top and get underneath that. Get your lower your level. Get under that. Get back behind. Makes it a little bit.
That is
easier.
correct. 3-0 for Snider here with a minute left in the second
got
period.
The flip.
He's able to roll him over, and this looks like if we got time, he might be able to secure this. He does. That was a nice job of Ethan of just using his brute strength and being able to push him to his back.
Big points for the Panthers. Big points there again, right there. 3 compared to 6. It changes some of these matchups.
And what had been a 3-0 match, you're absolutely correct there with that. Okay, this brings us to a 106-pound match. And as we talked about, a person that's going to be around on the wrestling scene for a while, New Haven has a unique situation here. They've got a girl, 106-pounder, that was also down in Mexico City wrestling, and she is also a gold medalist in the freestyle and Greco-Roman in the Pan Am Games, folks. This is a international competition that these kids have gone down at their age group and competed in not only one, but they've won at the highest level.
Well, these are they're looking especially in wrestling.
Correct.
Future Olympians.
Tyler Tunn is the Snider wrestler, and Juliana Ocampo is the New Haven wrestler. And Juliana is the girl that we're talking about.
6-0 in the high school scene coming into it again, but she gold medalist at the Pan Am Games in both Greco and
she took Tyler down. She's now in the back. She's staying busy. She's got the legs secured. She tried to hook a cradle up. Tyler did not let her have the cradle. She's jumping it again, but he is making sure that he is staying stretched out enough not to give the cradle up. It looks like she's going to change off of that and just go ahead and bundle him up. She's not afraid to step out front. Like we said, Greco, which is all upper body, which means she knows how to throw, and she can wrestle freestyle, so she knows how to wrestle on the mat. So she can wrestle both on her feet and on the mat. She is a very accomplished young lady already as a freshman. She ran a 3/4 Nelson. She was able to take that and stack that, and she was able to pin Tyler Tunn in the first period.
And just a skill set, like I said. She did that little heel hook to pull that down into the perfect pin. Just a detail
exactly how to maintain that heel hook.
As a freshman, I mean, the skill, and again, just looking for great things for the next 4 years across the board for her.
And she will. And I think that we see her here, and we know she's into town here, but I think you're going to see that occurring across the state here. Not only is women's wrestling making a name for itself, but I think when you're seeing where women's wrestling is going to have an impact on the men's sport also, and that's a good thing for the sport of wrestling.
And here we go, Easton Dotster also comes in from New Haven undefeated 10-0.
That is correct. Easton Doster can wrestle at both these levels here.
His opponent this evening is Dejan Clarity.
We call him Red. These guys have very similar body types. Dossler in tight on that single leg. They went out of bounds, or he'd have had a takedown there. Neither wrestler wanted to tie up. Coach, I think we've had a shift here. New Haven has the Easton Doster and Carrington Cooper are both weighed in at 113, and in the lineup they gave us, Easton Doster was set. But I think that with the score where it was at, I think that New Haven has Carrington Cooper out there right now. Carrington Cooper has replaced Easton Doster, so I'm assuming that Easton Doster is going to go up to 120, where he'll wrestle Lincoln Alfonso.
Well, and Cooper comes in at 10-1 too, so you got some room to work with there.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Looking for the matchup.
That's a nice thing for him to have. He's taken Red down. He has now established. He's threaded that arm through the legs. Carrington has a lot of length. He's got the 3/4 hooked up. Red didn't give him that. Stayed tall enough that he can't get that, so he just kind of went ahead and went into a simple tilt. He got 2 counts on that tilt and was able to gain 2 more points. That's a nice job of knowing your body position where you're at. He looks like he's going to take this same tilt.
26 seconds left in the first period. 4-0 is your score. New Haven leading. Looking to get the tilt, like I said.
This here, he'll have to be careful that he doesn't get that back arch, at which point it would be potentially dangerous. As long as he makes sure that he keeps those hips tight, he should be good. With 10 seconds left, I'm not sure that he's going to have time to get that tilt in. And it looks like we're going to end the first period with the score. Carrington Cooper 4, Red Clarity 0.
At the end of the first period, leading the match 4-0 from New Haven.
They start the second period on the neutral position. They're both on their feet.
Carrington Cooper.
Clarity wants to tie up. Cooper does not. Cooper will get him moving, change his levels, and see if he can attempt to take down off of that. That's where Red's going to have to be careful. If he wants to tie up and push, he better make sure that he's maintaining position. Instead, all right, Carrington shoots in double, takes him down. Cooper, he's keeping Clarity down. Okay, he's letting him get to his base, and I believe that he's letting him to his base so that he can establish a head and an arm. It does look like he's got the tight waist. He's trying to get the head and arm. He has it now. At this point, I believe that he's probably going to secure that wrist and try to run a half on the other side. He's threaded it, and he's going to thread it and try to run it. He's going to elevate him here, it looks like. 25 seconds left in the second period. They went out of bounds, so with 17 seconds left, the score 8-0. We will start from referee's position. Red stands up. Carrington brings him back down to the mat. He looks like he's threading that arm again. He has it threaded. He elevates him. He's back to his tilt. Looks like Coop definitely likes that tilt, and he was able to grab 2 more points right at the end of the second period with that. He's opened up a 10-0 lead. Just by watching him, it's obvious that he has been working on that tilt, and he runs that from a couple different positions, and he feels comfortable in where he's at with his body position in running that. Red down to start the third period. Cooper at top. Cooper has the arm and wrist controlled again. He's back working to thread it. Red had his head down, so he lifted the leg, stuffed the head, tried to run him right up over the top. Best way to try to do that, if he's going to keep his head down, catch him towards his back, and was able to establish 2 more takedown or 2 much near fall points. Score now is 12-0. Cooper has the head and arm. I thought he was going to do earlier. He went ahead, took the arm behind his back, creates a half for him as he pressures him over. With a minute left, he's got him on his back. He's established his 3 points near fall. At this point, it looks like he's just trying to get that half a little deep if he can't secure the pin.
52 seconds left, so you can get it in. And there it is.
Well wrestled match by New Haven's Carrington Cooper. Pin at 5 minutes and 40 seconds left. That brings the team score to 48-24, and it moves us to our next to last match. Next match here at, yes, okay, so now we are. Now we are going to see Easton Doster for New Haven at 120. He will be wrestling against Lincoln Alphonse from Snider. I believe that Easton Doster is a semi-state qualifier at least. I believe he is a decent wrestler. He had an older brother that wrestled, that now wrestles in college. So he's been probably rolling around on the mat for a little while.
For a little while. And
Yes,
usually we see that. We talk about it a lot. Family affair, you see it up and down. I mean, they through especially New Haven, some of these other schools, Snider, Belmont, it's his brothers, cousins, sisters. Now it's everyone
You're exactly
involved.
Right, and everybody gets involved
Yep,
with it.
it's a family affair.
Exactly right. So they're in a tie-up. Looks like Alphonse has a 2-on-1. Doster making sure that stays clear from him. Lincoln trying to get that. Doster able to step out of it and get his arm back and control back. Both wrestlers trying to establish control. Doster has a leg. Lincoln has an arm. They both step out of bounds. We're going to go back with 50 seconds left in the first period and start again.
Okay, and like you said, we'll be back January 6th with some live wrestling action here from Snider High School.
We got blood time real quick.
Yep, against Homestead. And then on January 7th, Friday night, again, big basketball doubleheader. Boys and girls doubleheader against Northrop, a rivalry. The Snider Panthers girls team's on fire, putting up big numbers. The boys team's just getting rolling, getting their season started, get a feel for where they're going to be playing well.
Both teams are exciting to watch. They get up and down the floor, and they score a lot of points.
So, I mean, that's WRNS Productions, again, right here where you're watching on Panthers Paws 2.0 YouTube channel. Also, family people out there, again, every day the announcements are posted if you're interested in what's going on with your kids here at school, things coming up. And every Friday, Panthers Paws is aired. We get it up onto YouTube right there by about 11 o'clock in the morning, so you can see the things and what your kids are doing and families are doing, things happening at Snider. So, again, a lot of action from the studios here at WRNS Production, just looking for more things. Again, thanks to Coach Condon jumping on board once again, helping me out. We got a couple matches here to wrap it up. Great crew tonight, several veterans in the house for me, and then, again, some freshmen from my principals of radio television class here tonight, then also some of my radio television 2 classes. So great help from those students tonight.
You guys do a great job, Coach. All right, we're over with our blood time now, so we're going to start neutral. We got 50 seconds left in the first period. Both of these guys are neutral. Doster tried to get his own 2-on-1, tried to snap it by. Lincoln stepped out of it. A little bit of a scramble going on right now. And the guys go out of bounds. With 30 seconds left, both men are neutral. Doster shoots in, has a single. Alphonse on his hip, but he does have a through the crotch. He's trying to hit a crotch lift. This is kind of a scramble position for both wrestlers. And what we are seeing is neither one of them can do anything, so Tony Drysdale calls a stalemate. We have 7 seconds left. With 7 seconds, don't expect these guys not to do anything. Doster tight in on the legs, but just not quite able to finish.
0-0.
When you get kids like this, they're going to go ahead and they're going to wrestle for that whole 2 minutes. You're not going to see them backing off with 7 seconds left, waiting for the period to end.
Correction, 2 points were given to New Haven. Easton Doster.
Okay, hold on here, folks. So I think what we are having here, when Doster got in on that, the official is saying that he dropped Lincoln to his hip and therefore was given the 2.
That's a tough call right there.
Well, I don't know that he cleared his head out of there and established any kind of control, but it is what it is. We start the second period again on our feet with New Haven leading 2-0. What that means is Lincoln's going to have to create an offense, because just like that right there, Doster's now starting to get a little push-pull going, and all he did was change levels, drop down on the single, let Lincoln go over the top, and establish another takedown. That's 4-0. Lincoln stands up. Doster lets him go. 4-1. Doster shoots back in, shoots a double this time. Sprawl out. Front quarter by Alphonse. Doster clears his arm, clears his head, comes out the back door. Nice job there, staying in his position, letting things happen, letting things settle, and getting his takedown to go up 6-0. He cuts then Lincoln out for a 6-2 score. 1 minute, 5 seconds left in the first period. Looks like Doster is going to play the takedown game with Lincoln. Lincoln has secured that head there, but with that, all Doster's going to do, and he has been doing, is just making sure they go a little push-pull. And as soon as he feels his head's clear, he's changing level, and that's causing Alphonse some trouble. Alphonse needs to circle a little more left and right, create some angles if he's going to set up his own attack. And with 30 seconds left, down 6-2, it's time for him to get onto his attack if we're going to close this gap. Fake attempt by Lincoln Alphonse. Doster snags the single leg. They drop down. He's got Alphonse on his hips. Doster drops his hips down. Lincoln's got the crotch lift attempt going. As time runs out, they will stay in that neutral position to end the second period. Take us to the third period with a 6-2 score, New Haven. Doster down. Alphonse on top. Not much movement on the whistle there. Neither wrestler. Easton trying to establish a little hand control before he comes up. Lincoln trying to keep a tight waist. Easton to his feet, trying to clear. Clears, steps out, clears his hips, gets one as they go out of bounds. We will be neutral to continue this period with 1:28 left. Score 7-2, New Haven. They're in neutral position. Shot. Alphonse trying to establish some shots, goes to a front headlock. If it doesn't get tighter, Easton will just shake it off, which he did. Drops into his single leg. Stays low, circles around, captures the leg with his leg. At this point now, what he will look to do, even with the crotch in, is to go ahead and just work up around the waist. As soon as he works up around the waist, he did. He established 2. Now at this point, what he'll try to do is maintain good position, work up through the chest, see if he can find some back points. Alphonse turns down. Doster with control. He's just kind of hanging on what would be a Peterson position at this point. That should be a stalemate on New Haven since he's not trying to improve his position. He's down there. He's just really just hanging on.
13 seconds left in the match.
Exactly.
Rolling it out.
Alphonse lets that go. Dostert has an ankle. He's got his head enclosed, but that's not a problem for him right now. And time runs out. Our final score, 9-2, New Haven. So this is going to take us to our last match of the evening, where we will have Braden Klauser for New Haven, a freshman, facing off against sophomore Zane Maple for Snider.
Last match of the evening again. Thanks for tuning in this evening. Thanks, Coach Congdon, for contributing the commentaries for us tonight. We'll be back on January 6th with the Homestead matchup, and then January 7th in the boys and girls basketball. Again, thanks again for watching. We got one more match for you here. It looks like New Haven's going to take the team score tonight, 51-24 currently the score.
They both start neutral, on their feet. Klauser steps right in. Ducked under, steps behind. He's got the body lock, but he was not unable to take Maple back down to the mat. They end up, nice shot, double leg. Klauser does not get the takedown, doesn't take him to the mat, pushes him out. They remain neutral with 1:30 left in the first period. Zane able to grab a single. He holds on to that, takes Klauser back down to the mat, and does get 2 points for Snider. They go up 2-0 with 1:15 left in the first period. Maple with tight waist, picking an ankle. Klauser working hard to get to not only his base, but also up then to his feet. Maple has one leg in. Klauser able to slip that inside arm out, turn back into him. He's going to establish a reversal for sure. He's got a half in. If he can get that tight, he doesn't. It slipped out. He could have maybe got some back points, but he doesn't. So with 45 seconds left in the first period, score is 2-2. Klauser hooks up a cradle, gets Maple to his back, and Maple is fighting, trying to kick off, fight it. He gets back to his belly. 24 seconds left. Cradle still hooked up by Klauser. He's out to the side. He's trying to get hip to hip. Looks like he's maybe trying to take it back. This is where we talked about, even with the score what it is, this is good for these young kids to learn that you got to fight through this. Klauser given 3 for that first cradle that he had on the back. First period will end with the score. Braden Klauser 5, Zane Maple 2. We are going to go neutral to start the second period. Klauser shoots into a double. Continues driving through. Nice job finishing. Gets his takedown. Increases his lead to 7-2. He's working to try to get legs in. He's got one leg in. He's got both underhooks in. He's working to try to get the other one. Maple trying to get turned in. Did not get that done. And in the process, turning in, exposed his own back for 2 more points. With Klauser having legs in, Maple has been able to get a hold of the leg that should be in and is trying to work inside of him. Maple trying to get a hold of a position where he could turn back in, and he couldn't, and Klauser was able to pull him over and reestablish control up on top. This is where the young kids need to just really realize that in that situation there, it's a half scramble, half move. You just have to stay busy. You can't just sit and wait for something to happen. You got to go out and take what you want and make something happen the way you want it to happen. Maple has once again established the leg that's in. He's trying to turn back in. He finally was able to do that this time. He also, like last time, he's got a half on this, and if he can get that drive on that, not only is he going to get the reversal, but he could potentially get some back points. He needs to stuff that head and really drive hard.
24 seconds
He gave
left.
up the half and therefore gave up his potential ability to get any back points.
And 16 seconds left in the second period. he had a chance there if he could have get that drive going. Like I said, stuff that head around and go.
Exactly. Nice job on Klauser fighting that off. 9-4 with the time expiring in the second period. We will go to the third period with the score 9-4. Brandon Klauser from New Haven ahead of Zane Maple from Snider. They start the third period in the neutral position. Maple attempts his own double leg. Klauser with a sprawl, trying to see if he can get a throw. Maple catches the throw, steps over, gets the takedown, and is going to establish some back points here. If he gets too high, he's going to lose that. But he did get, looked like he got all three of the back points. So he has closed the gap down to 9-8 with 1:25 left. Well, Coach Tard, it's going to turn into decision time. You think we're going to go overtime for our last match of the evening?
Not at this point, because like I said, we got the Panthers on top. So again, you look for some back points or get an escape for the.
Very good. I think what I'd look at is get my leg free, see if I can cut him, which he did. Klauser up now 10-8, but if Maple can get a takedown, he can tie the score.
And you called that
We've got 55 seconds
hips out,
left.
Hips out and go. Come on. Peeling back the hands and hips out, hip away and get around back.
You think I've been around this for like 37 years or something,
something like that. Yeah. And there it is.
And there it is. He got the takedown, and we're tied 10-10 with 40 seconds left. Now what he's got to do is he got to make a decision. Does he let him go and take him back down, or does he try to ride him out? Klauser, who has been a scrapper this whole match, tries to hit a little Granby, finds kind of a little Peterson situation.
25,
he's got Maple in a little
20,
bit of a bad position.
23.
We are in kind of a scramble position. It's going to end fun here, folks. 20 seconds left. Klauser has kind of stepped over. He's got an inside leg. Maple's kind of got the head and arm. It's either wrestler's
10
choice.
seconds.
And Klauser comes out with 10 seconds, was able to pull his head out. It's now up 12-10. Good job on him staying busy. But Maple trying to turn back into him.
There it is.
And they ran out of time.
Runs out of time.
That was an exciting match to end it, folks. Our final score on that match will be Brendan Klauser 12, Zane Maples 10. Both wrestlers wrestled right to the buzzer.
That was a fun match there at the end. Like I said,
they're going to double check, make sure that this score is right. We've got an escape at the very end he gave, so that final score actually ended up 12-11, not 12-10 with that.
All right, so it ends up 51-24 for the evening. The New Haven Bulldogs pull off the win. A great night of wrestling. Again, it's early in the season. Who knows what's going to come up in the future? The Panthers are young as a team. They got a lot of room to grow by the end of sectional time, so we're going to look forward to things again. We'll be back on January 6th with the Homestead Spartans in our gymnasium live for some wrestling action. Then January 7th, like you said, the boys and girls basketball doubleheader with the Northrop Bruins here at WRNS Productions. Again, thanks, Coach Cognan. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll look forward to seeing you again in the future. And, man, that was fun last match.
That was.
Yep,
yes,
good
sir.
Stuff.
Great to end the evening.
Yep. Have a great night, folks.